In the 1950s, a man named Harold was driving home from work when he saw a woman walking alone on the side of the road. He stopped and offered her a ride, and the woman got into his car. She gave him directions to her house, and they drove in silence. As they approached the house, the woman suddenly vanished from the car. Harold was confused and looked around, but there was no sign of the woman. He then noticed that they were in front of an old abandoned house. Years later, a group of teenagers dared each other to spend the night in the abandoned house. They entered the house and explored the dark and eerie rooms. As they made their way to the attic, they heard a faint whispering sound. They followed the sound to a corner of the attic, where they found an old diary. In the diary, they read the story of a woman named Mary who had been murdered in the house by her husband, Harold. The diary also described how Mary's ghost haunted the house and lured unsuspecting men to their deaths. The teenagers were terrified and tried to leave the house, but they found that the doors and windows had been locked from the outside. They were trapped in the house with the vengeful ghost of Mary and the spirit of her murderous husband. While the story of Harold and Mary is just a work of fiction, it continues to be a popular ghost story and cautionary tale about the dangers of exploring abandoned and haunted houses.